Have you ever really stopped to look at the logos you see every single day? They aren't just random pictures, nope. They are meticulously crafted stories, just packed with meaning, and they're designed to tell you everything about a brand in a single quick glance. So today, we're going to deconstruct one, piece by piece, and see what it's really trying to tell us.
All right, today's subject is this logo right here, Scriptorium Lab Services. Yeah, at first glance, it looks pretty simple, right? A nice, clean design. But hidden inside this one symbol is a whole narrative about what this company is, what they do, and maybe most importantly, what they value.
So, what is that story? Well, we're about to become visual detectives, you and me. We're going to break down all the clues hidden in both the name and the icon to really uncover this brand's identity. Think of it like a puzzle. Let's solve it.
Okay, so our investigation has to start with the most obvious clues, the words themselves. The name of a company is its first and most direct message to you. So let's really break down Scriptorium Lab Services.
First up, scriptorium. Now that's not a word you hear every day, is it? It kind of brings to mind these ancient monasteries, right? Monks painstakingly copying manuscripts by hand. It speaks of tradition and deep knowledge and just meticulous precision. It's all about craft and heritage.
And then you've got laboratory, or lab for short. This word just pulls us in the complete opposite direction. It makes you think of white coats, bubbling beakers, data analysis, cutting-edge technology. It's all about modernity, science, innovation, and discovery.
And this is where it gets really interesting. You've got the ancient art of the scriptorium on one hand, and then the modern science of the lab on the other. The name itself creates this super fascinating tension, a fusion of two completely different worlds. And that right there, that's our first major clue. This brand sits right at the intersection of tradition and innovation.
All right, we've cracked the name. So now it's time for the second part of our investigation, the icon. Let's put this symbol under a magnifying glass and see what kind of visual story it's telling us.
Okay, the first thing that just jumps out at you is the quill. For centuries, the quill has been a symbol of writing, intellect, and education. It totally suggests artistry and some real skilled craftsmanship. There's a classic precision to a quill that, a regular old ballpoint pen just doesn't have. This really reinforces that scriptorium half of the brand's identity.
But look a little closer. See those abstract wisps flowing from the quill? What could they be? Well, they could represent the flow of ideas, the act of creation. Or they could be seen as smoke from some kind of chemical reaction, which would be a nod to the lab. They could even represent digital data streams, which would bring this ancient symbol firmly into the 21st century. Pretty clever.
And all of this is enclosed inside a circle. The circle is such a powerful, universal symbol. It can represent wholeness, completion, community. But it can also act like a frame, almost like a magnifying glass or a petri dish, suggesting focus, analysis, and a really contained, controlled environment for their work.
So let's just quickly piece these visual clues together. We have the quill. That stands for intellect and precision. We've got the wisps, representing modern ideas and data. And then the circle, giving us a sense of completeness and focus. You see, each element is telling its own little part of the story.
This is it. This is the aha moment. We've gathered all of our evidence from the name and from the icon. So now let's lay it all out on the table and see the full picture. Let's finally solve this case.
And check this out. This is where it all connects. The name Scriptorium plus Lab tells us it's about tradition meeting innovation. The quill promises precision and artistry. And the wisps in the circle, they suggest complete modern solutions. Every single element is working together to deliver one single unified message. And the crucial takeaway here is that nothing, absolutely nothing, is an accident.
So, we've cracked the code of one logo. But the real takeaway here, the big idea, isn't just about Scriptorium Live Services. It's about a whole new way of seeing the world around you.
So what's the final verdict on our case? Well, Scriptorium Lab Services is a brand that blends the thoughtful craft of communication, the art of the scriptorium, with the rigorous, data-driven accuracy of science, the precision of the lab. That's the core story that we uncovered.
And once you start looking for these symbols, I promise you'll see them everywhere. From the swoosh on your sneakers to the apple on your phone, every logo is this condensed piece of communication, like a visual poem, just waiting for you to read it.
So really, the most important thing to take away from this is not just the definition of this one logo, it's understanding the method. It's seeing how deliberate choices about words and shapes and symbols all combine to build a really powerful and immediate message. It's basically a lesson in visual literacy.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Now that you have the tools of a visual detective, the next time you see a logo, whether it's on a coffee cup, a website, or a billboard, what clues are you going to look for? What story are you going to uncover?